Okay. All right, so it's 5:15 on Monday, December 30th, so I'll call to order this meeting of the New Ulm Human Rights Commission. The first item on our agenda is our poster essay and video contest winner. So we have her here. We have a winner for our poster contest, and Adley's poster is displayed right here at the end of the counter. So we have a certificate for you and your winning, your check for your winnings. Yeah. So you can come up here. Perfect. We'll go over by your poster and then she can go. So here's your certificate, and so we really appreciate that you took the time to make a poster. See that?
I'm gonna get out of the way so I'm not photobombing.
Nice
We appreciate
picture.
you guys taking the time to come and be here so we can present her with our awards. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Way to go.
You guys can stay for the rest of the meeting, but you don't need to feel obligated if you want to sneak out.
Yeah, so again, just really appreciative that you took the time to create a poster for our contest. It's super important that kids, get involved and be aware, and she did a great job. So thank you to Adley for participating. I'm not sure. Off
I don't
top
have
of
the
my
numbers here in
head.
front of
Yeah,
us,
I'd have to go look, but yeah,
It's a
there were a
beautiful
few.
poster. Good job.
Nicely done.
Thank you very much. All right, so the next item on our agenda is membership. So a couple things. First, we have our new student commissioner, Caden Schaefer. So he's here today. So welcome to the commission. Thank you for volunteering. Do you just want to say just a sentence or two about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Caden Schaefer. I'm a sophomore at the New Ulm High School, and I'm really looking forward to working with you guys at the commission.
Awesome, thank you. And then second item is Janelle. Janelle is done after this month. So just thank you to Janelle for your presence on the commission, and thank you for your service. We are glad that you took the time to.
It's been
Volunteer.
interesting.
And your organizational
Yes.
skills will be greatly missed.
Very greatly missed.
I can train someone.
That would be appreciated. Okay. Next item is election of officers. So we need to elect the officers for 2025. So we have the chair, the vice chair, and secretary. Currently, I'm the chair, Casey's the vice chair, and Allie is the secretary. So we'll start with the chair. We would take nominations for the position of chair.
I nominate Kristen Springer to continue as the chair.
I would second that, or would there be any other nominations?
I would second it.
Okay. All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So that passes. I will be the chair for the next year. Then the next position is vice chair. Casey is serving as the vice chair right now, and I think she mentioned before the meeting started that she is actually not re-upping for next year. So we'll have to find a new person to be vice chair. So with that, I would take nominations for a vice chair. Or a volunteer, and then a nomination.
I'm just trying to think of who's been here longest. I know Allie. Allie, are you interested in staying as secretary? I guess would be a question.
That would be my preference, I think, overall.
And then I think it maybe goes to Obehi and Katie, but I don't know.
I, as you know, am going on maternity leave very soon. January 30th is the due date. So I would walk into that position not being here for 3 months. So I don't know if that's helpful. So I don't know if that makes sense.
Totally. Your
So I guess we go between either nominating Pastor Dave, or we can nominate Katie and hope that she would accept after talking to her.
I would say we should have that conversation.
We could. I mean, we could take. Could we table it? Could table, or we can.
Yeah.
We could nominate her and then table it until the next meeting and see if she accepts.
Sure.
I would nominate Katie. I think she would be a great vice chair.
Okay.
I'll second that nomination.
Okay. I'll approve with the stipulation that we'll just discuss it with her at the next meeting.
We should probably still vote, though.
Yeah. So all approved.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. So Katie will be the vice chair for 2025. And then secretary, and Ally, you said you'd be okay with remaining secretary?
I nominate Ally as to continue as secretary.
All right, do we have a second for that?
I'll second that nomination.
All right, all approved, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. So we'll have our officers for 2025. Next item is the approval of minutes from our 11:25 meeting, which are attached. I'll give everybody a few moments to review. Let me know if there are any comments, changes, questions.
No changes or anything, but maybe just a comment. I didn't know, so this was a learning for me, that the Human Rights Commission doesn't give money to nonprofit organizations. So that's interesting because nonprofit organizations only work off of donations. So it's interesting that we can't donate to them. Do we have?
Is it saying that
It's, no, we only donate to nonprofit because the wellness
the
is
well
not a nonprofit.
No, it is a nonprofit.
I thought we determined that it was not a nonprofit.
So we must have gotten communication mixed up.
I think so. We might have to go back and,
Because I feel like we did discuss that it wasn't a nonprofit, and in my brain, I'm going, "Gal, I am remembering maybe seeing that they became a 501c3,
They
and then I
did.
sort of am like, I must be thinking of a different organization."
It must have been a miscommunication because I was confused by this whole thing. Because I'm like, are you not able to donate to a nonprofit? How are nonprofits supposed to survive if organizations can't donate to them? That didn't make sense to me. So it is fully now a nonprofit
Okay.
organization. So the Human Rights Commission is only allowed to donate to nonprofits.
correct.
Okay, there was a miscommunication there.
Okay.
So so we can look into that for next year.
Perfect. And I think then too, I'll have her, it doesn't actually say that. Okay. Yeah, so that's a good thing to keep in mind for next year since they are a nonprofit.
and that donation that we were looking at that had already passed now at this point, right?
Yeah, it was in December.
Okay.
It had already passed, but I will let them know that they are eligible for next year.
They would be. A good catch. Anything else on the minutes? If no other questions or comments, when everybody's done, I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting.
Would we like to add like an
with
addendum?
Yeah, we should
to-
amend that they are a nonprofit, and I can reach out to Lisa.
Yeah, that
With those minutes.
clarification.
I would second that with the amendment.
Okay, all approved, say aye.
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 Same sign. That motion passes. I will reach out to Lisa and have that piece of it amended, and then we should be good there. Then next item is the financial report. So this is the end of the year. We still have $1,104.01 remaining on the budget. I believe everything is accounted for with invoices for the year.
I just would like to make a note too that we had it budgeted it out for we'd be down to about zero had the contest been fully.
Yeah, and I think the big cost was that one speaker, which was an unusual that was an unusual amount for us to pay. I've never seen a speaker that high. So that is one thing that last year we've had not seen in years prior.
Did we? So I missed the last meeting, which is part of the confusion, I think. So I think the meeting before last meeting, we talked about continuing the welcoming events. And there was some conversation about whether there would be money coming from the city or not. And I think there was going to be a follow-up on that.
I don't think we have not heard back.
Okay.
I think they got that grant in like May, so we might not know. It was $500, so we had kind of talked about even if there's not money, that'd be something, considering we had this big cost for the speaker, we probably would have money to put that on, but we can follow up with the mayor and just remind her to let us know when they will know.
And I think when we're looking at a budget for that, just even as we were talking after that last event, there were some ideas that would maybe cost more money, like things like bathrooms, things like that. So we should maybe budget more than we
Correct.
had thought last year.
That might be something too that we can just start to put
gets
on the
closer,
agenda. To talk about at the beginning of the year, so we can kind of keep that in mind and work on planning it. Okay. Any other questions about the budget or comments? Okay, events committee. So first item is the Human Rights Award. The deadline was December 13th. We did not receive any nominations for the award, which is disappointing. We've had years where we've had 1 or 2 nominations. I've never seen a year where we haven't had any. So we just kind of have to decide what we want to do. Do we want to extend it? If people have thoughts from the commission of somebody that would be good or an organization that would be good for that award, we could submit the nomination and revisit it at the next meeting. Thoughts on that?
You know, this is a little different than the other contests that we've seen a decline in. This is something that's generally been viewed very favorably in the community. We've had a lot of winners in the community. I guess I would hope that we can continue this and maybe get a push, maybe print some more of those flyers, make a push if we extended the deadline for another month, because I think there's a lot of people doing important work in this community
Absolutely.
and should be recognized.
I would agree, and it's just it's kind of a good public reminder too, and like a boost for whatever the organization that's nominated of like, hey, they received this award and this is the important work that they're doing, and it kind of lets them have a little bit of a showcase. They do a little article on them, so I think it's really helpful for the community. Like you said, there's lots of people doing lots of good things, so I would agree that it would be good to continue with this.
I would make a motion that we extend the deadline for what would be our next meeting.
We could
trying to think.
extend, yeah.
So then what would be a good date before that?
We could do the Friday before. I mean, we don't need a lot of
Right.
leeway because they'll just bring it to the meeting.
So I would move that we would keep the contest or the nominations open until January 24th.
I would say that.
Okay, all approve, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion passes.
I do have that flyer I can send if anyone wants to share it digitally too, just to get,
Yeah, if you want to send
Yes,
it out.
maybe generate a little more interest. So,
Okay,
It's just bad timing with the
Yeah.
holidays. People just get busy and think, oh, I'll do that later, and it passes.
absolutely. And then we can request, we have about $1,000 of the 2024 funds, like we mentioned. So we can request that be carried over to next year. And then we can use it for stickers or handouts or items for events for next year.
A motion that we request to carry over the funds from 2024 to 2025.
second.
All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So that will go to, that motion passes, and that will go to the city council to approve. So we'll just bring that back.
Do we need to explain kind of our reasoning, or does it
I think just letting them know that that's what we had left over and we needed more items will be, I'll follow up with Lisa. If there's anything additional. Lisa
maybe
can-
explaining that we had it earmarked and then,
Yeah, and didn't get used.
Yep.
Yep. I'll see if Lisa has any suggestions, but she's pretty good about helping with that stuff. Other business. So the community needs survey, I apologize. I am supposed to be working on a press release for that, but I just did not get to it. So I will work on it, and have it done for Lisa in January, and then we can send it out. So that's just that survey that we created, is just getting it out, into the community so people continue to take it. We didn't get it, we got some responses and they were really helpful, but we didn't get a ton, and we just felt like it was really important to, try and get more responses. So I will work on that now that I have a little bit more time after the holidays, and I will get that to Lisa. Next item, we have another student commissioner application for our other vacancy. That application is attached, Henry Albrick. He's an 11th grader, so he could serve the rest of this year and then next year.
I think it's great we're getting kids back
Yeah,
again.
absolutely. That's
It's great. There's interest from the kids.
They might have some really good ideas if we continue with the poster and essay contest, how to grab the people's attention.
absolutely.
So do we make a motion to, so we have a vacancy
Yep, we have a vacancy with an application, so we can, once, we can make a motion to
to accept?
accept. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I move to accept Henry Albert to the student commissioner vacancy position.
I'd second that.
All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. I will let Lisa know to contact him and let him know that he is now a member of the commission. And then we also received, and it's attached and it's pretty long, correspondence from the Fairmont Human Rights Committee chairperson. And it includes a letter that they wrote to the governor, to Governor Walz, just talking about what they had done with creating a Disability Awareness Day, and just a little bit about their committee. And then it has their contact information, and it has the article about their first annual Disability Awareness Day at the Martin County Fair. And then another article about them bringing back Disability Day. And then they had a proclamation of the of the anniversary of the Human Rights Declaration. Just a lot of information about their meeting dates and kind of what they've been doing as a commission. There was no specific ask or anything. It was just kind of informational sent out to us as the Human Rights Commission in New Ulm. So I think it's good to know other commissions are out there, kind of similar size small towns, having the contact information, kind of just seeing what they have done in their own community.
It's also a really cool idea, the Disability Awareness Day
Yep.
at the
absolutely.
fair. I mean, maybe that's something we can look at partnering with the fair to do a special day.
Yeah, that'd be
That's really
great.
cool.
Yeah, they did. Admission was free, which is free at Brown County, but then they received money for food and some free rides. So the Fair County board members were extremely supportive in the first time event at the fair. So yeah, that's a really good idea. And then we have their contact information, the chairperson, so we'd be able to reach out, if we wanted advice or kind of how they made that work. And they had a Human Rights Day in December 2023. So just good information. I don't think we need any motion on it, but just kind of that they reached out to us. Next would be the legislative update. I do not have anything. Does anybody else have any? I'm not aware of anything coming up in the legislature. Then City Council Liaison, that's Dave.
I didn't have anything for October, November, and I will admit that I haven't had a chance to go through the December meeting yet. But yeah,
December, it's busy.
it's a little busy.
If you see anything, you can just bring it to the next meeting.
Cool.
And then we do need a volunteer for January through March. Since his term is up, it's a 3-month term. You basically just have to, you don't have to attend the city council meeting. You just have to watch the meeting and kind of bring back anything that relates to the Human Rights Commission. Is there anybody who hasn't done it?
I'll do it again.
Do it again? Okay. Allie volunteers. Thank you, Allie.
Make life a little easier.
All right. And then the date of the next meeting is Monday, January 27th. And I do not have anything else. So with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'd like to just make a mention. She didn't have a thing on here for other things.
She does
but,
not have another business. Carrie.
I just wanted to make a mention that the Dakota Riders came through, and it was really cool to see them come through. And there was a lot of people out. It sounded like the showing at Turner went really well. They stayed for 2 nights. So I just wanted to acknowledge that they came through here, and that was really big for our town. And hopefully we can continue with that relationship moving forward with them.
Yeah, it'd be a good thing to keep just in mind coming up to next year. Is just having a group. Like I know it was kind of the middle of a work day. I was at work, but I watched them come like down 5th by the hospital. But maybe just having a group of commissioners just to kind of at some point while they're here, that might be a good thing for next year.
And I know that there wasn't like there was a lot of different people that kind of helped support the riders when they were here, but it maybe is something that as the HRC could get involved with next year as well. So, because there were a lot of volunteers that made it possible, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
And there were a lot of people out. I
Yeah.
mean, just,
It was
where I
cool.
was standing, I was like, here's a handful and here's some more came. And I was like,
It was really
wow,
cool to
yeah,
see.
Yeah, it was. Pleasantly surprised.
Awesome. Thank you, Casey.
Good point.
I wonder why there isn't other business on here. Anyway, so
Oh, it is. It's just tucked in there, kind of.
there you go. Tucked away. Oh, it is. It's other business, and then it is number 8.
Okay, well,
We just had other business, and we usually don't. Okay. So with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'd move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All approve, say aye.
Aye.
I
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.